I think the second most notable result of the day has to be FAA taking out Alexander Zverev. So let's go with that. Obviously, FAA has had issues in these sorts of matches. Not only is he 0-9, and sorry if it's 0-8, but I believe it's 0-9. Not only does he have that really poor record in the finals, but he's also struggled with top 10 opponents. Try to find this stat for you. 15. He lost 15 of his first 17 matches against top 10 opponents, and now he's on a 3-match winning streak against top 10 opponents, and in his first career major quarterfinal. It's good to see. Just, look, there can still be doubts about FAA, but he's reaching milestones, and it has been such a long time since we've been able to say that, because for years it's been FAA is stagnating. FAA isn't getting better. What's going on with FAA? And just for him to be reaching these kinds of milestones, getting these results, is massive for him. As for the match, Alexander Zverev goes up 4-2 in the opening 4 sets. In all of the first 4 sets, Zverev was up 4-2. And let's be real about what happened here. The serve hijacked Alexander Zverev. I would be, lying if I told you I was really impressed with FAA's performance. I kind of wasn't. I think the forehand just needs to be better than it was in this match. He made 31 forehand unforced errors in this match, just on the forehand, and 16 winners on that side. It's got to be better than that. He was too generous with his errors on the forehand. He missed a lot of backhands down the line. I felt he didn't have that shot either. He double faulted. I guess not too much. I guess it's fine. 6 times. Some of them felt untimely. He only won 56%. He only made 56% of his first serves. But Zverev played really badly too. I don't think it was a good match, folks. And here's the one thing. Before I get into the negative stuff, I just want to say one really good thing about FAA. I want to give him some props. The props is that he hit some of the most important and best shots of his career at 5-4 in the 5th set. It's one thing. I want to highlight that because Zverev got his returns in the court. Zverev put the ball in the court. And that's what Alexander is going to do in that spot. And he is going to force you to create. He is going to force you to earn it. And what does FAA do? At love all, he hits an inside-out forehand winner. At either 35th, I forget. I think he hits one really good serve as well, I think, to get to either 30-15 or 30-love. Then, I think 30-15, he hits a first ball backhand drop shot. I can't believe that he went for that shot and made it. By the way, the drop shot can be key for Felix, and I hope he continues to develop that shot to just offset his power, his vertical power, because he's not great with the angles. So if he can take away depth as a counter to his power, that's going to be really great for him. So beautiful backhand drop shot. And then on match point, on the first match point, 40-15, got tight and shanked a forehand. But then on 40-30, he tamed those demons. He tamed those nerves, and he hit a really good forehand and finished an overhead. Those shots were so important, and I'm not someone... Look, I tell you, I mildly root for who I pick generally, and I picked Zverev, but in that moment, my blood pressure was real high for Felix because he has had so many heartbreakers and so many difficult moments, and he came through and hit some of the most clutch shots of his career, the most clutch shots in his career at 5-4 in the fifth set. So credit for Felix here. We do have a super chat from Zachary. Thank you very much for that. Anything in FAA and Shapo's hitting techniques that caused them to break down in five setters? They seem to swing so hard while Fed and Novak are smoother. I think it's actually different for Shapo and FAA, but I always have found it interesting that it seems like the Canadians tend to have the same issues in their game, which is that they're over anxious. They don't have the shot tolerance. They make too many unforced errors. It is kind of funny how that is, that both of them, it would seem to be a coincidence, although they do both train, in the States, in Florida, IMG. They train at IMG. So maybe it's not a coincidence. I don't know, but it probably is. But in terms of in their hitting techniques, I think for Shapo, no. I think for Shapo, his technique is really pretty solid. And it's all about, on the forehand, I think it's all about shot selection and just patience and choosing the right targets. And for FAA, that's a big part of it too. And I'll tell you about one part in this match where it is 2-love in the fifth set and break point for Felix. And he gets a forehand, middle of the court, approach shot opportunity and smokes a forehand, which would have been a clean winner. Hits it center of the strings, right in the corner, but an inch wide. Easy forehand. And that forehand for Felix feels like it's a 50-50 forehand, where it should be a 90% forehand. You should make that 90% of the time. And if you just look at that, again, center of the strings, good timing, everything is lined up. But he's trying to smoke a winner right in the corner, where if you are a confident player who just has a good court feel and you're confident in your volleys, you don't try to smoke a clean winner on that. That is an approach shot. You might hit a winner. You might, but you're certainly not going to miss it, because you're going to take time away. You're going to step into the court. You're going to aim about a foot inside the sideline, and you're not going to hit it at 100% power because it's an approach shot. I swear, Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, Nadal, they don't hit their approach shots at 100% power unless maybe it's like shoulder height and they can really, they really feel like they can hit a clean winner. But on a regular approach shot, they're not hitting that 100% power, because all they need to do is hit a solid approach shot, and it's going to be a difficult pass. So why are you going for a clean winner on that shot and taking on risk that you don't have to? But I will say both of them have footwork issues. And I think Shapo's footwork is a little bit better than Felix's. But Felix, it's not really as precise as it needs to be. And again, this is a North American problem, I think. The Europeans tend to move their feet better. I think it's because they grow up playing soccer. I honestly believe that. Nadal was a great soccer/football player. Murray was a great soccer player. Federer was a great soccer player. Novak was a skier. I don't know how much soccer he played. If I'm not, I could be mistaken. But in general, it's like FAA and Shapo, I think it's shot selection and footwork more than anything else. With that being said, FAA's forehand is a little bit wristy, and maybe that's something as well. Maybe. Also, it's mental and nerves for FAA. So that's how I would answer that question. But the things that Felix did well in that fifth set, he made some of the clutchest shots of his life at 5-4 serving for it, and he did return really well. He did. That comes with the caveat. The caveat is that Zverev was serving down the tee every single time. So, I mean, Felix was on to that. And I think it was because Zverev feels more comfortable on that serve, lower part of the net. And Zverev will get into a mode where he feels like, and this is not necessarily wrong. It's not ideal, but it's not wrong. But Zverev feels like, well, I serve so big that as long as I make it, it's fine. So let me hit my safer serve, which is, especially on the ad side, definitely the T serve. But he's going there every single time. And, FAA did really well. He was on that. And especially FAA's second serve returning, he stepped in after the rain delay. He stepped in and took it early and really well. So props to FAA's returning, but also, Alexander, mix up your serves maybe, and that'll help if you're able to do that. Which segues me pretty nicely to the next thing I want to talk about, which is Sasha's serve. 20 double faults for Alexander Zverev in his upset against Felix Auger-Aliassime. 20 double faults. A career high for him. And a lot of people were saying, oh, the double faulting is behind Alexander Zverev. He's past that. No more of that. No. And I never felt that was the case. I got on Zverev after the Madrid final, when he double faulted 8 times against Matteo Berrettini. Still won the match, but not only double faulted 8 times, double faulted in crucial spots, including the second set tiebreak against Berrettini in the Madrid final. And the way he double faults is the tell that he hasn't fixed it yet. The difficult thing about it is sometimes it feels like impossible to predict. Is Zverev going to come on the court and serve 3 double faults all match long and it's a complete non-issue? Or is he going to absolutely break down in the biggest way that you could imagine a player breaking down? It feels very difficult to predict sometimes which way it's going to go. But in this case, the trouble starts very early on. In the first set, Zverev hit 8, and he never reeled it in, really. And again, they come in the worst possible times because Zverev wins the third set. He wins the fourth set. He's playing a lot better. Again, I think Zverev at his best was the better player in this match. He just couldn't really summon his tennis and didn't have his serve at all throughout the duration of the fifth set. But he had all the momentum. Start of the fifth set, having just won 2 sets in a row, and Felix looking negative, looking very, very stressed out, like he was feeling the moment. We could be having a very different conversation right now than the one we're having. But Zverev hits 3 double faults in the opening game of the fifth set. 3. Momentum gone.